Well, we are doing a dollar video. It's been a while since we've done a dollar video. Now, sometimes when I make a dollar video, the video itself, the movie itself, may not have cost a dollar, but I would say it's worth a dollar oftentimes. But even dollars that are $1 could actually be pretty cool, could actually be pretty valuable, pretty fun. Dollar movies are often the movies that you get for $1 that you want to give a shot to, something that you would normally not pick up for anything more than a dollar. Lantern's Lane is one of those movies for me where I would not spend more than a dollar on if I knew nothing about it, so that I could see if it's pretty good, see if it's worth watching. Lantern's Lane is very much a movie that should be on Tubi to watch for free with advertisements so that you can give it a look and see if it's something that you might like. Lantern's Lane as a cover is very much trying to capture a slasher vibe. Does it succeed? No, I don't think it does. Not really, no. Well, the final act is pretty fun, I'll admit. The final act is pretty fun. It's not really a good, fun final act, but it's an okay final act. It's an final act that you can watch. And they're obviously Scream fans. They're fans of Scream. They're fans of Friday the 13th. They're trying to combine both of them. And so the story premise is we have this college kid who left this small town for a big city college. And she's come home for whatever purpose. And she's reconnecting with her high school friends who hate her for leaving. And it's like, you left us. It's not like we have Facebook in this world. It's not like we have phone numbers. It's not like any that. It's like, maybe you should have set this in maybe the 80s. That would help, so that you don't have access to, well, no, maybe, yeah, 80s. So they wouldn't have access to computers, so that you could send people computer stuff, and it's a little bit harder to keep track of people. You have to send them actual physical letters, maybe. I don't know if they had email in the 80s, but let's make it the 70s then. That way you don't have emails. You can't send emails. I don't know when they created emails. Just a time period where it's harder to contact people. You can still call them on the phone, but hey, come on. We're trying to be mad at this person for not contacting these people. I could be a little bit forgiving for that, being a friend of somebody's, and you move away and you don't contact them for the whole year. Sometimes you just forget to do that. Or maybe you have access to social media. If you have access to social media, then you can contact your friend any day, every day of the week, and it's like you never left. You can continue to hang out and have fun. And it's really a lot of plot problems here. It's a lot of problems, and we can put all of the blame onto the college kid for not thinking about all of these ways to get around the physical distance, such as phone calls, text messages, social media, letters, emails. Oh, there's so many ways you can keep a track with somebody. It's just that you gotta try it. You gotta do it if you wanted to do it. There's so many ways. But maybe she's just one of those people who just doesn't really contact people unless she has something to say. She didn't really have anything to say, so she didn't really bother to contact. And they blame her for not having anything to say. And either way, it's the college kid. She's come home for the weekend or whatever purpose, and her friends are pissed off at her for not contacting them for 2 years. Okay, whatever. Let's start from there. And so the college kid's got her life in order. She's heading for places, but all of her high school friends are kind of losers, and so they're upset at their big rich girlfriend. She was the homecoming queen lady of the small town. She moved off to get success while leaving her friends to wallow in small town misery. I can understand being a little bit angry at the college girl for this. I can understand that. But then we spend the next 40 minutes of them just yipping and yapping and yapping and yammering and yipping and yipping and yapping and yammering and yipping and yipping and yapping and yammering and yipping and yipping and yapping and yammering. You don't need that. Maybe cut that down to about 10 minutes to exposit and introduce your characters. It's almost like this was a short film. It was originally a short film, and somebody said, yo, here's $500,000. You want to make this into a movie instead? And Justin LaRue was like, yeah, sure, let's do that. But then he couldn't figure out how to elongate his short film, so he just put 40 minutes of yipping and yapping and yapping and yammering at the start of the film where nothing happens. There's a very important plot point that happens in the first half of the film during all of this yipping and yapping that I completely missed because there was just too much talking about nothing, and I completely tuned it out, and I had no idea what they said. Well, one of the things they said was one of the four friends had a sister who worshipped the college girl. But the college girl paid the sister no mind, and then the sister self-deleted at some point in time. And college girl feels really sad about that. She says to the sister of the dead sister, hey, I feel really sad about your sister. How about we hang out? And the sister's like, oh yeah, sure, why not? Let's hang out. It's not like I totally blame you for killing my sister or nothing like that. It's not like my mother completely blames you for killing my sister like that. This totally isn't an Until Dawn reference or anything like that. No, let's hang out. And so she tells her friends about this crazy little Lanterns Lane thing and says, hey, let's go check this out. It's totally not a bad idea. I'm totally not planning to take you guys out later. Let's do this. It's going to be fun. And so they get into the car. They talk for 20 more minutes. And then they get to the location and they talk for another 20 minutes. And then they get into the house. And that's when Mr. Spooky Baghead comes out. Mr. Spooky Baghead has a little knife here. And she stabs the sister of the dead sister, and everybody's going, oh no, and then the two friends start laughing, and they say, oh shucks, we pulled a prank on you. We're not terrible people at all. We totally got you. And then the college girl's like, you people are insane. Why the hell did I come back here? I should have stayed in the city. And then they realize that Mr. Baghead isn't the friend that they called to play Mr. Baghead, to fake kill the sister of the dead sister. Mr. Baghead is actually really Mr. Baghead. And the guy that they got to play Mr. Baghead walks onto the scene. He's full of stab wounds, and then he stumbles over to die. He has to walk into the frame. He has to survive this long to let us know that it's not him under the Baghead. And so he dies, and everybody's freaking out. They run inside this abandoned house that the bank did not pick back up to renovate, to condemn, to topple over. It's just sitting there for some reason, and they get inside this house for some reason, that they have the keys to for some reason. And they are inside this house, and Mr. Baghead can't seem to find a way inside. He doesn't really like opening windows or breaking into places. He needs you to let him in. He's like a vampire that's not a vampire at all. He's a complete normal human being, but he doesn't want to commit vandalism. That would be going too far. Murder's one thing, but vandalism is going too far, even on a property that nobody owns. It's too much. We cannot do this. It's just wrong. Now come out here and let me stab you. And so he walks around the house, Mr. Baghead, he walks around the house, and he tries to get inside, and the people inside are yipping and yapping and trying to figure out how to get outside, how to get their friend who's trapped outside, because for some reason she didn't run inside with the others. She was looking at the dead guy that got stabbed a lot, who's supposed to be Mr. Baghead, for this creepy little... And then there's this whole thing about trying to get the friend who's trapped outside to come back inside, but that fails. She gets stabbed. They bring her inside, though, but she's dying from a fatal stab wound. So she's sitting on the couch, and the college girl says, you know what, I'm going to go get help. I'm going to go head out and get help. So she runs off. She finds a car parked further out. It's probably the car of Mr. Baghead or something like that. Or it's the car belonging to the dead stabby guy who was going to be Mr. Baghead in the fake prank thing. And so she hides in the car. She finds a gun, so she pockets the gun, and then she sees Mr. Baghead walk up, and then there's the sister of the dead sister who's not actually dead. She's completely fine. And then Mr. Baghead pulls off his bag to reveal that he's actually the sister of the dead sister's mom, and they're both in on it. They've been planning this for years, 5 years, to get revenge on these little group of friends who caused her daughter and her younger sister to die, and they were like, we need to get revenge on these people. We gotta avenge the sister, and we gotta go do that. And so college chick hears this, and she decides to come back to the house with the gun to protect her friends. And so the mother stabs the sister of the dead sister to make it look like she got attacked but survived a stab wound. This is where it feels really like Scream. And so she runs back to the house. The sister of the dead sister dies. She knocks at the door, and the guy inside lets her in and says, "Oh, wow, you survived! That's great!" And so sister of the dead sister's like, "Hey, where's college chick?" And the guy's like, "Oh." And then she sits on the couch next to the dying chick with the fatal stab wound. And then while the guy goes to go look for some medical equipment for her stab wound, the sister of the dead sister kills the wounded lady that's sitting on the couch. So the wounded lady's dead. That's your second kill, the first one that's on screen. Because the sister of the dead sister's on-screen death wasn't actually death, because here she is completely alive. So this is your first kill, technically. On-screen kill. This is a second death. And then we have the sister letting the mother in, and the mother reveals she's actually Mr. Baghead the whole time. And then they're going like, now we're going to kill you, but first we're going to explain our whole thing to you for the next 5 to 10 minutes to give college chick time to get back to the house to set up a trap for us. We're gonna exposit and explain everything to you, and then we're going to kill you, because that's just how we do. This is movie rules. We have to explain things to you before we kill you. It's just how we roll. And then college chick comes up and she says, "Hey, stop that, don't kill my friend, pew pew," and they die, and then they go home at the end. That's Lantern's Lane. The final act's pretty fun. It's very cheesy. It feels very much like a Scream ripoff that doesn't know how to be a Scream ripoff. It's very much a 3 out of 10 movie for me, but it's if you are into dollar bin type of movies like Blue Call and Righteous Villains or whatever the frick I used to do, those types of movies, those type of very cheap movies that belong on Tubi and that you would find for $1 if you want to take a look at it, that's the type of movie Lantern's Lane is. If you want to give it a look, do it there, but don't spend more than $1.